Hello and welcome. I'm Melinda Kimami. Tonight, it's a waiting game as delegates at the Ekiti State All Progressive Congress governorship primary anticipate the emergence of the party's flag bearer in the July governorship poll. Governor Nasir El-Rufai applauds the use of electronic voting system in Kaduna local government election, says exercise is successful. Joint Health Sector Union vows to continue industrial action alleged intimidation of its members in some hospitals. And North Korea to dismantle nuclear site later this month ahead of the historic meeting between the country's leader Kim Jong-un and the U.S. President Donald Trump.
On business news tonight, Axis Bank's Economic Intelligence Group forecast further drop in Nigeria's inflation rate in April to 12.56% ahead of official data from the National Bureau of Statistics.
On sports news tonight, clean sweep for East Africans after Kenya's Alex Kibet and Ethiopia's Yami Dera emerged winners of the 2018 Okpekpe International Road Race in Edo State.
We begin in Ekiti State, southwest Nigeria, where delegates from the All Progressive Congress APC are awaiting the results of the party's governorship primary held in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital. It's the second time the party is conducting the primary after last Saturday's election was marred by violence. Our political correspondent Seun Okinbaloye tells us more.
It is perhaps a case of once bitten, twice shy. No chance for error. As far as security is concerned, arrangements here is watertight. The chairman of the organizing committee goes round to see for himself. But it appears all is going according to plans. After the early morning rain showers, delegates have been organized and seated according to their local government areas under these tents. Accreditation done, one after the other, local government after the other. Voters march into the voting area and their choices are close to their chests. All seems set, ballot boxes, ballot stands and the officials. For the chief organizer, Governor of Nasarawa State, Mr. Tanko Almakura, the reason to adopt the indirect voting system is a carefully determined matter.
We have decided that this time around we wouldn't allow agents come close to where the voting process is taking place. Besides that, we have also tried to ensure that the process is done in such a manner that nobody from anywhere can come and interrupt the process. The accreditation has already been done simultaneously in accordance with the senatorial zones, and the voting exercise is now taking place, like you have seen, is in sequential order, where there will be nothing that will disturb or disrupt the process.
After several hours of voting comes the sorting, and the ballots are placed in the boxes which has the names of the candidates in the race. For the All Progressives Congress, the race is far from over. Getting a flag bearer is one thing, getting the electorate's nod is another. July beckons and the ballot will be the decider. From Ado-Ekiti in Ekiti State, Seun Okinbaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
Now let's join our political correspondent Seun Okinbaloye, who is in Ado-Ekiti, for an update on the APC governorship primary election. Now, Seun, the race is going right down to the wire. What more can you tell us?
All right, what we can tell you right about now is very much the update coming here from Ado-Ekiti, the capital of Ekiti State. The APC is about to know who its candidate will be for the 2018 Ekiti governorship election. Of course, some of the big numbers that we have tonight. The winner has not been announced just yet, but we have some of the big numbers. We have over 2,000 delegates, all about 33 of the candidates in this race. Former Governor Kade Fayemi has about 941 votes, and Mr. Bamishile has about 179 votes. Mr. Gbenga Aluko about 86 votes. even getting out of the race. The political advisor to the president, Senator Babafemi Ojudu, has about 10 votes. That of the former governor, Shegoni, has not yet been counted or announced. The winner will be announced when all of these votes are in and tallied and announced. But that means we have to wait some more time. As you can hear, what is going on in the proceeding of this very important election for the APC. Every one of the aspirants are all in the gallery waiting to know the outcome of this exercise. It is but now an open secret to a whole lot of people who now have those figures and putting them together, because very much now a lot of people will know who might emerge a winner in this race. But until it's announced, we cannot tell you. But your guess may be good as mine. Melinda.
Many thanks, Sean. So the waiting game begins. Now, apart from the Ekiti governorship primary, the All Progressives Congress, APC, also held a nationwide congress to elect leaders of the party at the local government levels. Voters made up of ward leaders and 30 automatic delegates were selected to participate in the exercise. Our correspondents across the country captured the conduct of the polls.
The early distribution of voting materials in Kano State is encouraging enough for delegates to turn out on time for the local government congress.
These are the results. Do you see it? Did we feel anything? Yes. Did we feel anything inside? Yes.
The exercise is set to be successfully conducted in all the 44 local government areas of the state. The Congress is also peacefully conducted in Katsina State, with most incumbent party chairmen returned.
The new thing we wish to bring on board first is success to our party. That's the APC in all the elections. And then to bring credible candidates that can bring the real change we need in APC.
From Katsina to Kwara State in the North Central area, where parallel congresses are witnessed across the 16 local government areas, resulting in the emergence of factional leaderships. Despite this, the exercise goes on smoothly with no record of violence.
They all confirm that everything is okay. Of course, that is why the essence of democracy, that's why they are here. So whoever emerges, of course, becomes the representative of the people as far as the Congress is concerned.
In Imo State, southeast Nigeria, the exercise was postponed following the failure of last Saturday's Ward Congress, which is still a subject of controversy. Aggrieved APC youths take to the streets of Owerri, the state capital, asking for a new date for the Ward Congress.
The most important thing now is to give us a date for the Ward Congress in Imo State.
The exercise is peaceful in Abia State, also in the southeast, with an impressive participation of delegates amidst the presence of security personnel.
I received a court order restraining APC Rivers State from conducting the LGA Congress.
In River State, South Nigeria, a supposed legal advisor of the party in the state is seen in this amateur video, explaining that he is in possession of a court injunction stopping the party from holding the local government congress. But party members continue with the exercise, apparently unperturbed by the court order.
The Congress has gone on peacefully, it has gone on credibly, and I'm happy with it. Our delegates have turned out in their numbers, and they've elected people that will pilot our affairs as a party.
There's no major contest in Edo State. The state leadership of the party had announced the adoption of a consensus list of candidates from the 18 local government councils.
What we have done today is that we have harmonized all contenders for the various offices at local government levels.
And to the southwest, in Lagos State, the exercise progressed peacefully in most of the areas visited, with light security presence. Observers from the national office of the party ensure that the exercise is free and fair.
Very, very transparent. Even the first one, where you had all comers at the election here in Ikeja, everything went well.
However, violence was earlier reported in the Agege local government area, with one person feared to have been killed. With the APC local government congresses over, attention now shifts to the state level, where state executives are expected to emerge in next Saturday's exercise.
And still talking about the APC local government elections, the governor of Ogun State, Ibikule Amosu, has commended the conduct of the exercise and asked the newly elected candidates never to let down the confidence reposed on them by party members. The governor mentioned this when he received the Congress monitoring team of the party in Abeokuta.
Nothing good comes out of violence or in an atmosphere that is not peaceful. If we have had some acrimonies this morning, we wouldn't have been in a position to conduct this exercise. So I want to thank you. You did very well in the last World Congresses. That is why we are having a very peaceful, rancorous-free local government election. Next week, all of us will gather in Abeokuta to have the state congress.
Governor of Ogun State, Ibikule Amosu. And let's move over to Kaduna State, where the voting has also ended in all the 23 local government areas. And history was also made because the State Independent Electoral Commission, KASIEC, is using the electronic voting system, which is being used in Nigeria for the first time. Our correspondent, Larry Lasisi, has the rest of the story.
It's some minutes to 7 in the morning, and officials of the Kaduna State Independent Electoral Commission in Kaduna North Local Government are busy trying to ensure voting materials get to the wards where they will be distributed to the different polling units. This is a process that is being replicated in the 23 local government areas of the state as different political parties vie for chairmanship and councillorship seats. Materials, however, arrive late at some of the polling units, with voters already waiting. This polling unit in Ngwansariki, voting is held up as the electronic voting machine cannot be activated. Over an hour later, the issue is resolved. Voting then commences, and these voters appear pleased with the process. The state governor appears at the polling unit after casting his vote, says he is satisfied with the process.
The process has been smooth. I've had reports that in 2 local governments we've had issues out of 23, which I think is still over 90%. So far, so good. I came here, I was duly accredited. Unfortunately, INEC denied us the use of the card reader on the grounds that they are preparing for the 2019 election, so we had to do manual accreditation. I got accredited and I went and voted. The whole voting process took less than 10 seconds in my opinion. So it's quite easy, very smooth and straightforward.
Election observers also commend the polls and the electronic voting machines.
The findings has been so far generally an overview, I would say, would be that security has really been well managed. One major concern would be the fact that materials have gone to their different locations very late.
Positive comments have trailed the use of the electronic voting machine in this election, and this may kickstart the discussion on the need for the deployment of electronic voting machines across the country for future elections. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, we have more on the e-voting in Kaduna State, and we're being joined by the Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, live from Kaduna to discuss this.